This week on Exploring Earth Project, we finally set sail for the infamous Port Phillip Bay Heads and into Bass Strait. And is this the end of the trip before it even started?
No, I think it's fine.
We're Chloe and Ben, an Australian couple who have packed up our lives and traded it for one on the move.
Whether it's navigating the ocean or wandering the land, we've got you covered.
Subscribe for regular episodes as we explore the Earth by sail, van, and foot.
About, an hour out of Sandringham, and we're sailing towards Blairgowrie at the moment. We do have a bit of a squall off to our right. Yeah, it's cold. It's really cold.
So the basic plan is to sail from Sandringham Yacht Club to Blairgowrie for an overnight rest before making our way through the Port Phillip Heads the next morning, allowing us to have a sneak peek of Bass Strait before pulling into Western Port for a night at Cowes on Phillip Island.
Can't get any more omens than what we've got today. We've had favourable weather, we had, rainbows, which is, as we learned yesterday, a good omen, and we even had dolphins come swim next to the boat, which we missed, but trust me, they were there, I promise. They were, there's either two or one going side to side.
The trick to keep the dolphins when you spot them and they're swimming alongside your boat, the trick to keep them is to bang on the hull, and they like the sound of it so they'll stick around.
Fun fact about dolphins, the ones here in Port Phillip Bay, they're just in Port Phillip Bay, they're unique to Port Phillip Bay, is that right? You didn't know that? Wow, let's Google that now.
Well, what do you know? I was right. The Port Phillip Bay bottlenose dolphins, also known as the Baroonan dolphin, is unique to Port Phillip Bay in the Gippsland Lakes, with approximately only 180 of them in existence, making them an endangered species.
I thought they looked a little bit different. Just one other thing, I should also say, I was keeping my phone in my pocket, and I was sitting.
Let me do a reenactment. I am not kidding, it was an act of God. Man is lucky to have his phone. So he was sitting here at the helm, in his pocket here he had his phone. He took it out, whatever, he put it back in his pocket. I've just heard something fall. It's slipped out here and landed between these two. Like, look at all the space, it could have just fallen out straight out the back. And it landed between there, and I turned around and oh my god, look at this, your phone.
Yeah, I reckon one bump of a wave it would have been gone, for sure.
That is Ben for you, written all over. We were lucky enough to dodge rain clouds and not get wet, as we bunkered down in Blairgowrie for our first night on the boat. You've got to do it in one way.
Every night. We don't have much room. No. I'm 6'2" tall, and this bed is 6 foot. So there's 0.2 there that I'm hanging over the edge.
We can make it work.
It's our first night together on our boat. Very tired. Good night. Oh.
Stop.
Survived our first night.
I did survive our first night.
Guys, we've got a big day today. We are sailing from Blairgowrie through the Rip out into Bass Strait, one of the most treacherous places in the world.
Dramatic.
Just get build up.
Speaking of build-up, to get to the Rip, we had to sail out of Blairgowrie across one of the busiest shipping channels in Australia, if not the world, unconfirmed, narrowly avoiding ferries and massive cargo ships that could crush us whilst trying to catch drones flying around the boat. Not to mention fending off endangered bottlenose dolphins so they didn't get run over by the hull. No, Chloe, you said that tapping attracts them. Only to then have to line up our boat on an angle with only meters to spare in order to safely navigate our way through the treacherous Rip and into Bass Strait, one of the most dangerous stretches of water in the world. The only thing is, when we got there, I may have built it up too much.
We have just made it through the heads, which was relatively calm. It really wasn't anything exciting.
and I didn't throw up, which is...
Ben did well. Ben has been notorious for seasickness, and so far, so good.
So far, so
good.
I feel actually pretty good. We've got a bit of swell coming through.
But
it's a beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day. The sun is out, which is what we want. It's a blue sky.
Chloe's still cold.
I'm still cold.
We're on to Phillip Island next,
Yes.
and then we'll keep pushing our way around after that. Well, I've just learned something about seals that I didn't know.
They sleep with one fin up, so
Like that.
it guides them through the water.
So you're saying the seal that just went past us with these flippers out like this?
It's just chilling, sleeping.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if they're actually sleeping, but they're resting, I guess.
Yeah, he had his bottom flippers up upside down, like, it's cool. Yeah, well, there you go. Flippers, flippers. Seals sleep with a flipper out.
All this ocean, then you end up with a boat right next to you.
What's going on, babe?
We've got a glorious sunset happening at the moment. Couldn't be perfect. More perfect for a dusk time. This word's even made sense. Golden hour. It's golden hour and it's beautiful.
We're just coming into Phillip Island now, and we're passing this cliff, and I get a phone call from my mum, who lives in San Remo, which is on the other side of Phillip Island, and it turns out that they're at the Nobbies, and they just are flashing their car lights to show us that they're there.
Just see it.
Yeah, they just sent me a picture, and it's just of my mum and dad and my grandparents having a champagne, watching us sail past. So that was kind of...
Beautiful sunset.
It was a beautiful
Ask for a better one.
Exactly. So I'm glad they're enjoying themselves. They're probably all rugged up, warm, but yeah, it was nice to see.
After a quick overnight pit stop in Cowes and a brief catch up with loved ones, we were up before the break of dawn for the start of our long legs at sea.
Someone on the boat, I'm not going to say who, may or may not have thrown up this morning.
And it wasn't me.
I threw up before we even left.
We had to take the tender out to the boat because the boat was on the mooring and it was extremely rough. I was soaked sitting at the front, just copying all the waves crashing over the front of it. And once we got to the boat, it was just bouncing all over the place. So it was very uncomfortable. So it's understanding that fortunately Ben was sick, but only once, so that's a good thing.
I only threw up once.
Did you okay? Told me once, but
We're about to go around under the San Remo Bridge. We think we're okay for height. Okay, we'll soon find out whether we're not or not. Take off the mask.
Yeah, you may recall last episode us talking about the San Remo Bridge and whether or not we'd make it under.
we're taking Sundowner under the bridge here. We just have to be timing it right so we can fit the mast underneath. The issue with this bridge in San Remo for us is that for a mid to high tide, we don't fit under, and there is only a small window to be able to sail underneath. Timing is everything, as we were about to find out.
Yeah, never even doubted it.
And look, we even had our mums looking over us, so of course we were always going to be okay.
don't know how it looked. From our point of view, that was very close. It felt like half a metre, but from our angle it could be a bit. And a bit of an optical illusion made it look closer than what it actually was. It'd be interesting to see that drone footage that my dad took.
Yeah, it wasn't even close.
Join us next time as we make our way deep into Bass Strait, losing sight of shore, with plenty of animal life as we push on to Sydney.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.